So I went to my local butcher to get some more beef suet one day, and they ran out. And I was like, my diet's literally 90% beef fat, and if I don't have that one source, I'm screwed. So I'm like thinking I should have an alternative fat source in case they run out forever, and I got one.
He's walking somewhere.
So I'm on this high-fat diet, and you'd think, oh, well, you can eat just avocados, nuts and seeds, nut butter, any beef fat, bacon, oh, the world's your oyster. It's not really like that. I don't tolerate a lot of these things. Any cooked nuts? Nope. Nut butter is just acne town. I don't have time for that. But I remember when I went raw vegan, high fat, we all remember it, my skin cleared up. And I was eating tons of nuts, but it was always raw, soaked overnight, blended, fermented the right way, Lou Corona style. So I did it. I bought myself a little pack of probiotics. Who's stalking me? How will this progress? Is this good content? So last night was my first try. I got sunflower seeds. I'm not sure why. Those are like the highest in omega-6 you could ever get. It was actually funny. You're supposed to have roughly a 1-to-1 ratio of omega-3 to 6, as high as 4-to-1, 6 to 3. That got confusing. Why did I reverse them mid-sentence? But 4 times as much omega-6 is okay, apparently. So usually I'm at like 1-to-1, 2-to-1, sometimes 4-to-1. But if I have fish, I'm like sometimes higher omega-3 than 6. So we're safe. Last night I chronometer my ass up. My God, 100 grams of omega-6. I was like 100-to-1. So this already on sustainable path. The perfect nut for this would probably be macadamia nuts. They just happen to be conveniently the most expensive nut you could ever find, other than pine nuts. Maybe I should try those, Mr. Millionaire. Anyway, so overnight I soaked like a pound of sunflower seeds in water, and they soak up. So make sure, if you're doing this, you do like half seeds, make sure you got double that of water because it's gonna swell up. So I soaked that overnight and then drained them, let them chill for the day, sprouting, trying to at least. And then I blended them with probiotics, and then you just pour it in a container with a loose fitting lid, not tight, and you let it ferment for like 4 hours. And that's how Lou Corona does it. That's how I used to do it. That's how the bulk of my calories came from nuts in that form. They're pretty easy to digest because the probiotics are eating them for you for 5 hours. 4, I said. Oh man, so much misinformation. So I entered this into Chronometer. I'm used to having the bulk of my calories from beef fat, which is no protein. And I'm doing this low protein thing. So I'm used to eating a bunch of beef fat and the meat. And so now I replaced the beef fat with nuts, which are like super high in protein, way too high. And so now I'm like, oh my God, my fish just put me way out. I had a tiny piece of salmon. I was out of the zone. So how do you do low protein and this vegan style? So vegan right now. You know, another reason I tried this, one of you assholes left a comment saying, watch Dominion, and then you'll see. I'm like, yeah, whatever, buddy, I've seen them all. And I watched that and I was like, God damn it. I watched the whole thing. Just straight-faced sadness. What the hell are y'all doing in Australia? Oh, the worst. Factory farming, like why do they have to be such dickheads, kicking the animals and stuff? I understand it. Your job is to control these wild animals and they don't want to be controlled and it gets irritating. It's like, go this way. It's like, no, I don't want to die. It's like, no, you have to die. Go die. And they get super angry. I understand it, but the worst. So I watched that thing and of course my mind's like, oh, go vegan, buddy. We can do it. Now that we're back on the high fat, it's like high carb was the problem. It's sugar. You can thrive on the fats. I just think animal foods are too nutrient dense. You'd be so stupid not to eat some liver. It's like there's nothing higher. The B12 out the yin yang. I'm not going back to supplementing B12, but I would like to get the bulk of my calories from nuts and seeds. Doing this yogurt, it's a pain in the ass. Why do I want this? It's so hard. Meat is so easy, just cook it, you're done. These nuts you gotta soak, blend, all this shit. But we're trying stuff, so I'm open to being somewhat vegan, good 90%. I don't think we need the protein. I don't know what it is. I think it's B12 and certain minerals are just easier to digest and absorb from animals than it is from all the other stuff, plants. So last night was my first try, and I'm not gonna lie to you, that was delicious. It's good, the nut butter, and I still roasted my veggies and then just added a bunch of nut butter. It's better than the beef fat. I'll tell you, I switched. They had ground beef suet and then they had chunks. And I was like, I've been having the ground and it just melts and then you have a pool of grease soup. It's bullshit. And so I tried the chunks. Some of them, you can't chew them. I don't know what the hell. It's almost like they have a protective layer of not eating me, please, layers. It's bullshit. So how the hell, animals are so tough. Like imagine trying to rip, you can't do it. It's hard. So it just makes me wonder, like, what are we doing? I'd be open to going 90% vegan with beef liver. That's basically vegan. An electric bus? Oh, what a time to be alive. Oh, it sounds different. Oh, wow. But I like the sound of this path. Mostly plant fats, if they were healthy. I need to find my spirit nut. What's the nut? Almonds? You should have seen how much vitamin E I got from those sunflower seeds. You're jealous. You're so jealous. But the omega-6 offset it immediately. I'm just making these minor tweaks mostly for my skin and my digestion. Digestion's a little slow. I'm trying to speed it up. I might need more magnesium. I don't want that to be the root. And then my skin, just the tiny forehead bumps, they lessen. And I think, oh, I'm on to something. Then they come back a little bit and I'm like, oh, no, I definitely wasn't. So far, so good. I've also added back avocados. I was just trying out this whole high nickel diet allergy thing. So I removed coconut and avocado because of that. I didn't notice getting better at all. So we're done with that. So I've added back some plant fats. Maybe the coconut will come back. Wow. If I could tolerate dairy, this would be so much easier. I'd just be getting grass-fed butter. We'd be done with it. But I'm afraid. I used to get cramps from it. I don't think pure butter or ghee would ever give me colitis because it's such a small amount of casein, the protein that irritates me. But it still gives me minor cramps like soy does. So it's like, it's not worth it, obviously. I need more sources of fat. I wish I could find lamb fat. That'd be nice. But as long as I can tolerate these nuts and seeds, so far there's no like sharp stabby pains, but it's only been one day. They probably haven't even reached my colon, this slow moving train. It's going nowhere.
I used to eat a lot of meat. I realized I'm a piece of shit. But when I learned of how they die, it made me sad and I cried. So now I don't eat animals. I cannot stand to watch them fall. Let's not pretend they don't feel pain. For me and you, they are the same. They are the same. They are the same.
One thing I did notice after the meal, I got a little thirsty. Usually I'm not. What is it about nuts and seeds blended with water that would make me thirsty? Is it the increase in fiber? Maybe. Could be the increase in carbs. There's carbs in nuts. Gotta be careful. Careful out there. So far it's only negatives, but it tasted pretty good. It might be cheaper. No, more expensive. Oh boy. Oh, that used to be me up there. That's what I used to do. He's doing a good job. He's got it easy. See, there's only like 2 windows. It's not even hard to reach. I'd be doing like both of those. The one to his left. Oh, that was tough times. It's kind of fun. There are moments where you're up there like, oh, this ain't so bad. But then reality hits you. You gotta do it every day. Ouch. There's the entrance to the reptilian base I was telling you guys about. I don't know, it's very suspicious. This has been here for like 6 years. They say it's a sinkhole, but it's more likely a reptilian base. That's my thoughts on it. What are they building? Who's that for? The Romans? What do you think the best source of fat is on a high-fat diet? Am I missing something? Like the oils, there's no nutrients in the oils. You can't have like 1,700 calories worth of oil. Oh, but how do you keep the protein low? It's not like there's much nutrients in that beef suet. Maybe a tiny bit of B12. That's about it. But the nuts, replacing beef suet would actually give me a nutrient boost. But then if I lower my meat to sacrifice the protein, I lose in all areas. So we push on. What's your favorite source of fat? Post it down below. Something I'm missing? There's avocados, nuts, meat fats, but like too much protein. You almost can't eat meat as a source of fat unless it's bacon, but pork is banned by the Romans. So not a lot of options here. So still, thumb up the video. Thumb it down. If you know that a panda would beat you in an arm wrestling match, but you still challenge them, why do you do things you know you'll lose at? I like to race penguins and buses. Next time, asshole. We're done. Thanks for buying a Camera Conspiracies t-shirt. Subscribe to the camera channel. What are we using today? Fuji X-T4, Samyang, 12mm Tony 2 with an ND filter. If it looked like shit, because this ND filter is too dark, and when I go into the shade, it raises that ISO pretty hard, and we look terrible. Oh, what a terrible camera. Still love it. Subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you on the next one.